That's Chris.
That's Shan.
And welcome to CCTV, the non-stop pop show.
And it's time for a round of Is It Boppin' for the K-pop releases of October 2022.
If you're wondering who we are, Chris and I have a huge range of experience in the music industry, from performing on stage to working at record labels. So we have a lot of insight in this music industry. And you can come join us on these conversations here, but also on Patreon at patreon.com/CCTVPops. And shout out to our crew members, Lisette, Lily, Emily, and our newest CCTV crew member, Deshawn. Yay.
Thank you to everyone who voted in the polls on Patreon and across our socials, because you have helped us decide which songs to include in this episode. And if you'd like to take part and help us pick the next songs, please be sure to subscribe, to follow, leave a comment, and let us know who you'd like for us to discuss. All right, Let's get into it. October, what did K-pop give us?
We gonna find out if it's a K-bop or a K-flop. Let's do it.
This is It Boppin'? Here, we listen to the songs and discuss the production, lyrics, videos, and everything in between. So let's find out, do we have bops or flops?
First song is Seulgi's 28 Reason, and this song was done by Lee Soo-man, Yoo Young-jin, Jeon Ji-eun, January 8th, Cho Yoon-kyung, Jongha Franson, Go Sun, Chris, Sean Kennedy, and I'm Lay. But not Lay. Nah, you know what I'm saying? EXO.
I was very excited that Seulgi was coming out with her own thing. Did it totally fit my expectation? I don't know. I never saw her as kind of like the dark one, so I just don't know. You know what I mean? Like the dark and moody one. That just never really was. I mean, like she had elements of that, but that's just not what I expected, I guess, for her solo stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like moments of this. I think the minimal production is really cool. The bass synths are super heavy, great emphasis on that, and it grounds it all very nicely. And it fits, obviously, Halloween, which I guess was the point of it, right?
Yes.
But yeah, do I think the song is like a huge hit? I don't think so. Yeah, what do you think?
You know, I feel like if some pop artist released it here, I think it would have fared a little bit differently, because we're into that darker, quiet whisper a la Billie Eilish, you know, kind of Baby Banks style. We're more like, oh yeah, here. And you're right, I can get that with Seulgi not being like the dark, shadowy one. I think it's a symptom of like the monolid thing, because if you look at ITZY's, like Yeji's ITZY, she's such a sweetheart, but they always make her so fierce and tomboyish, and like even try to make her like really sexy. And I'm like her eyes are sharp. Like, don't do that. But yeah, I agree with you, actually. I kind of feel like, for me, I didn't see her doing this, but she carries it pretty well. I think from the Seulgi and Irene album, I liked her Uncover. Like, she does jazzy, you know, sultry very well because of the way her tone is, but I didn't expect, like, I kissed your brother. Girl, why you kissed my brother? Not her being messy. She brought the kajok. She brought the family in it. And I was like, sis, no. And you know, I'm not the devil. I was sitting there listening to the song, and I said, girl, what are you going through? For me, it sounded like a sequel to Monster.
Yes.
Or like the prequel to Monster. Like, Monster's like, I got him. This is like the 28 Reasons, which I appreciate because she's also 28 years old. So I think that's really cute how they kind of have that. I'm very curious to see what she would have done with the one-shot, two-shot style song, because I feel like she is SM's Boa, but like, you know, kind of like a Boa Junior, where she could dance, she can sing, and she has like a pop sensibility, where like Wendy or like Joy are a little bit more, one's more ballady, one's more quirky. She could kind of toe that line where she can whatever. But, you know, we'll see. I feel like they're just kind of making all their soloists sound like Taemin, but I could be.
That's interesting. I like kind of like the Boa potential comparison there. This song definitely doesn't give that, unfortunately. But yeah, her vocal tone, though, is really great. She's a great example of just SM training and their aesthetic. Like, she sounds like a mix of like a bunch of SM female vocalists, but you know, the great aspects of all of that. Very dynamic. There's some great belting at the end. So yeah, it's great there. Also, the lyrics, as you mentioned, lyrics are kind of creepy. I was just watching Dahmer on Netflix. And so for some reason, when I was reading this, I was like picturing him like saying this, and that makes it extra scary. So don't do
Yeah.
that. Although I probably just did that to all of you who have watched that. Anyway,
Sorry.
what do you think of the video and the performances?
Ooh, you know what? When I first watched like the prologue. Yeah, the
Yeah.
prologue for these videos, like the teasers, I was like, what are they gonna do? Where is it going? It was giving very creepy, and this video was creepy, but also like she was taking control of her shadows. Her with the chain, her like floating over this building, not floating, like leaning, like she's gonna
Yeah.
kind of
Mhm.
self-delete a little bit.
Mhm.
I like the her walking through the fields. Like it was very interesting to see that juxtaposition between her being like kind of not innocent, but wounded and almost like a victim, and then becoming the villain, quote unquote villain.
Yeah.
I think some of the effects with her like finger tutting and stuff with the dancing and her dancing with herself, I wish we would have got more of that. Cause that idea of her battling herself would have been so much more interesting. I mean, we got it with Boa and Double, right?
Mhm.
Is it Double? Yeah. Oh my god, not me forgetting the name of the song. But she was dancing with herself and it looks super cool. I would love to see Seulgi do that with herself. Shoot, Red Velvet's super bright, so to see her in this muted color tones with the whites and the blacks and maybe some color with some red is interesting. Um, but I can't remember too much in the sense of
Yeah.
like anything else except her looking really good.
Yeah, I think
Sorry.
my favorite scenes are the ones of her in the field,
Yeah.
because there is, like,
Mhm.
a creepiness to it, but it's also just, like, really beautiful the way they did the colors and stuff, so I liked that.
Yeah.
Um, I almost think that this video could have been even darker, though. Like, if you're gonna
Mhm.
go with such a creepy song, like,
Yeah.
you might as well just go all out with it, you know?
Come
Like, this was
on,
kind of similar
yeah.
to the Irene and Seulgi kind of color
Ye
tone of it, just
Mhm.
very
Mhm.
black and red, I guess. And
Yeah.
so it was just like, you might as well just make it even creepier, but they didn't
Go
do
for
that
it.
with this one. So yeah, that's why it was just a bit underwhelming for me. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, and then I don't
Ooh.
know if she has the charisma to be like successful breakout solo act. I mean, there's potential there for
Mm.
sure, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really get that from her.
Uh-huh.
Choreography wise, it's all right. There's simple
Yeah.
formations. I like the way they hit all the double bass hits.
Oh, yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
the little kind of whistle thing that they do is cool.
Mhm.
I don't really get the gun motif because I don't know. I
I
get
guess
more
this
like
is
witch, the
dangerous.
witch or devil kind of thing. Like I
Oh,
think more spiritual.
yeah.
And like so when
Yeah.
you then turn it into like a gun
Uh,
and then it's just more physical, like threats. I don't know.
yes.
It doesn't match
Physical.
the creepiness of the song.
Yeah, no, totally, that totally makes sense. It's just physical threats. Just yeah. You know what? You're so right. Shoot. Concept the words out my mouth there. I mean, at this point, rating wise, I think, gosh, if you're new here, we have a rating system from 1 to 10. We do decimals, so we're quite nice in that sense. That being said, what do you rate this song?
Yes, I will give it a 7.5. How about you?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5 'cause I feel like the album, she has other things on it. I was like, "Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good. Oh, dang it." Like, yeah,
Exactly. And
that
the
was
potential is there. She can do better.
yes. Oh,
Yeah.
girl, come on, yes. All
All
right.
right. So moving on to Stray Kids, Case 143. And this one was done by Bangchan, Changbin, and Han of Stray Kids. And also
Mhm.
Raphael, David, and Yosai of Escape or Threescape. I assume it's Escape with a three.
There might be 3 of
Um,
them. I think so,
well, I think
yeah.
only
Okay.
David and Yosai are in it. Okay, anyway. So, what did you think of Case 143? Because both of us have always been kind of borderline with Stray Kids, right? So, what do you think?
Yeah, you know what? I think they're hit or miss for me, like, without a doubt. All
Yeah.
the singles are like that for me. I don't listen to the albums because the singles don't really drive me, and I know that's not fair, but that says a lot when you have an industry that's driven by singles, like K-pop is. If the single doesn't catch me, I'm not gonna like, "Oh, let me try to find a gem." I don't care. I don't
Yep.
care. I don't even wanna go into the cave at this point, right?
Hmm.
And then I'm watching them on Kingdom, it kinda turned me off because I felt like they were doing too much. Like, for me, I just don't like Wolfgang. The fact that you sat there and okay, let me get me started. They're talented, without a doubt. Like, I know members, I like certain members. I'm like, I watched it for them and the boys, but always ebbed and flowed with the group. But the hope has always been there. That being said, that being said, this song, you told me to listen to it,
Yeah.
or I listened to it while we were filming something, and I was like, "Oh, no. I like it already.
I
No,
knew it.
because I
I knew you would. I could tell. For the second it started, I was like, "You're gonna like this."
it's okay. Here's the thing, right? The song sounds like something Block B would have done because Zico, wow, I said his whole producer tag. Zico, oh my goodness, he would do something like this for Block B for himself, especially in that
Mhm.
second verse with that Latin kind of dun, 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 dun. He
Yeah.
did that in any song. So he already kind of has a tendency to do that. But this song just sounded to me, and they have a deep voice member just like P.O. and Block B. So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, listen to your forefathers. They have great songs with a deep voice dude. What do I keep getting attracted? I was like, oh my God, I love this. And then the production itself just keeps going and revving up. It feels like you're inside of an electric heart or something. It was very interesting. The outro is really fun. I love that. And I can actually tell their voices apart now, which is
Mhm.
really nice. And it's interesting to kind of hear um the members who have contributed to the song. You can kind of tell what parts they probably worked on because how nicely they flow or nicely they sound on that one part, or like they just know how to work with their members. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely appreciate a lot more. I don't know their names still. I love
Yeah.
when they switch up the chorus vocals. But overall, I think the song keeps going. And then when it does slow down, it makes sense. The bridge is nice. Like, dude, I'm here for it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always been one of the ones that would call Stray Kids noisy, right? Like the whole kind of first
Yeah.
half of their discography, not for me. I did see them live, right, over or
Yeah.
during this year at some point, and they were so
Yeah.
good that that really
Mm,
convinced me a bit more. I was like, okay,
yeah.
the
Yeah.
songs are made for this kind of arena setting. But I think in general,
Mhm.
they've managed to figure out how to keep the dynamic without being noisy, and this song demonstrates
Yeah.
that growth quite well. I think they balance the
Mm,
sweet and the kind of hard hitting stuff really well in this one. And yeah, it just keeps it super interesting the whole time. Like there's always something different going on while staying cohesive. So they did a really, really good job with that.
yeah.
It's nice to hear something that's a little that has elements of sweetness to it. Because it before it was all
Mhm.
just like very angry all the time. And now I think
Yeah.
they seem just more relaxed in general. Like you kind of even see that in the visuals that everything I think they're just more
Mhm.
comfortable, they're just more relaxed, and there's maybe less pressure on them because
Yeah.
they're kind of, they're successful now. They don't need to prove themselves as much. And so yeah, I appreciate it and I'm excited to hear what they do next too. But yeah, what did you think of
Yeah.
the visuals, the video, the choreo?
Okay, I just want to preface this by saying I was waiting for this man to hit 25 because I don't want to say anything crazy and have people come for me like, "Oh my god." You know where this is going.
Yeah, I do.
So if you are a Bangtan stan, y'all ate well today. Y'all ate well in this video, okay? He looked good. I mean, they all looked really nice, but something about the video is very boyfriend-esque, right? And I think that's the whole point. The whole song's about that. It's like, I never said I wasn't attracted to you, like, no cap, like, things like that was said. It's so cute. Like, seriously, again, when I was watching it, you saw me, I was like, "Oh, no, dang it."
Mhm.
Um, and the song wasn't even over yet, and I still was, like, into it. The After Effects was definitely used for this video, like, it's their best friend. After Effects and Stray Kids are like the OTP, like the jumping through the scenes, the masking the backgrounds. It's really impressive. It felt like a tsundere boy anime where it's like, oh my god, why do I like this girl so much? Jumps in another. It just felt like an anime.
Mm.
I was watching Inuyasha. I was watching Tenchi Muyo, which is a harem thing. I was watching a bunch of old anime boys freaking out about having feelings about a girl, but getting in trouble, but still being like, hey girl, I really like you. I gotta go, running away from the police. I have to go kill a demon. It just felt very cute in that sense. And videos like this make me think like, why can't the boys do something like this? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like they had a whisper and it was just a bunch of cute stuff, but like nothing really stood out to me in that video. Like, yeah, they looked good. Stray Kids also look good, but you think about the mascots in this video, like, that's so cute, their characters were in 'em, and then when they got popped with a little pistol, it's like they popped and they're like, "Oh, hi, it's the real member." It was super cute, the plugging in that electric heart, like, there's
Mhm.
something to look at all the time. I could remember, like, right off the bat. Um, what do you think about the video? I mean, I think choreography-wise too, like, there's, again, so much going on, but when they were dancing, it was so chill, like, the hands
Yeah.
with the why do I I can go on and on, but yeah, you what do you think about
Yeah, I
everything?
loved the video. I think, yeah,
Yeah.
I think they, again, to match what I said earlier, they figured out
Mhm.
now more so the balance of a lot, but then making it like
Mhm.
easy to understand what's going on, you know? So there's a lot
Yeah.
going on. But it's all very entertaining, and there's never a point where I'm overwhelmed at all. That
Mhm.
little rewind moment near the end
Oh
is
my god!
genius because I think every single person watching
Yes.
it would be like, "Oh, did I just do something?" You know, like
Right.
it's so great, and I absolutely love that.
Yes.
And yeah, the choreo, you know,
Mm.
they're one of the best performers right now in K-pop,
Mhm.
and that's very
Mhm.
objective. Like I said, I wasn't a huge fan. Even during Kingdom, I wasn't supporting
Right,
them in
they
any
are
way. I was, you know, but I was like
right.
I was so impressed. And
You can
seeing
admit that.
them
I can
on
admit that
stage,
too.
yeah,
They're
seeing
great
them on
dancers.
stage, that's
Yeah,
still one
great
of the
dancers, yeah.
best. That may actually be up there as
Mhm.
the best K-pop boy band I've seen this year. They were that
Oh,
good, and I barely knew any of
okay.
the
Yeah.
songs, you know. So
Okay, yeah.
I appreciated that this choreo allowed them to just, again, have fun with it. It's nothing too crazy, but they're
Mhm.
super clean. There are some kind
Yeah.
of more intricate moments in it, but it does allow them each when they come forward to just enjoy it and just have fun performing
Yeah.
it. They're not like crazily
Yes.
trying to do anything like up and down off the floor and stuff, you know? So I appreciated
Right.
that. And then I think this will go really well like in their shows. And yeah, it just brings something else to their discography for sure.
I agree with you. I think overall this was actually pretty good. I'm not sure how older stays. I'm not
Hmm.
sure how the stays feel, but if you are a stay, please let us know. Is this similar to anything else in their old discography? Because they do have sweet songs, but I haven't heard a single that was sweet and aggressive
Yeah.
too from them. So if
Hmm.
they have anything like that, definitely leave a comment below and let us know what you guys are thinking about that. Or if you're just listening, hit us up on our socials at CCTV Pops on everything and let us know. Is there anything else in their discography that's really, really dope? That being said, speaking of being dope, I'm just gonna say right off the bat, I gave the song a 9. It's not a 10 per se. It's not a
Hmm.
10 because I feel like this is their first like right off the
Yeah.
bat for me. Right. So I won't give them a 10 just yet. But what
Okay,
about you?
I'll go 9.5 then, actually, because this is really good. I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too. All right, up next we have Baekho with No Rules. And the song was done by Baekho, Bumzu, Krista Youngs, Howard Fleetwood, E. Sudan, and Glenn of Prison Filter, and more.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna let you kick us off. What do you think about No Rules?
All right. Well, everyone knows I'm a Nui stan.
Yes.
And so I'm very excited that they're all doing solo stuff, and we will review all of the solo stuff as they come out because JR's next, Jonghyun's next, and I'm very curious what he's gonna do. So
You said
stay
his whole
tuned.
name.
That's his neck. That's now his stage name. He's not JR anymore. Anyway,
I know, but
he will
he
be on
said
our
Jung.
next
I was
month's
like,
recap, so definitely subscribe. Stay tuned. That will be in the next recap. But anyway, Baekho, obviously
okay.
he's the main songwriter for Nui, so I had very high
Mhm.
expectations. Did this meet it? Not really, to be very honest.
Oh,
There's
okay.
something about this song that feels a bit dated, and I'm not entirely sure what it is or if you
Mhm.
felt similar, but I don't know if it's the whistles or maybe it's just that this sound just feels like it's been used so much and there's nothing about this song that makes it innovative.
Mm.
I think there's a
Mm.
nice funkiness to it. Again, Bumzu is so great in terms of depth. So it's a really beautiful sound
Mhm. Mhm.
that really feels like very immersive. So he always does a great job with that. So I do like the production. There's just nothing interesting about it. Like it feels like an album track. I don't really see, I don't know. I don't get
Yes.
awesome debut
Yes.
single from this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And the chorus with the whoa, like, it's fine as a hook, you know, it's catchy, but is it, again, anything like that interesting? No. I think he sounds
Mhm.
good, but this doesn't even come close to showing how good he can actually sing.
And
So
how
yeah,
good he
anyway,
can write.
it just falls short and it feels short because the song there's no final chorus, like, there's just an instrumental, it feels like it's building to something, and then it just ends.
I likened it to a Charlie Puth song. I mean, Charlie Puth is not a bad songwriter, but Charlie Puth's not a bad songwriter, but this is old Charlie Puth. When he did the anti-drop, it was cool. You just want attention. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Okay, it was cute then.
Mm.
And then K-pop was like, "Oh, we like that," and just kept doing it. And every so often they go, "Oh, we still like it." And then this is one of those songs that they still like doing it, and they kept doing it, right? And I can see that there are some Western writers, which is giving. We sent them a brief. They sent this back, and it's what we kept.
Or
So think
it's
of
an old demo.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just not giving what it was supposed to give. You know what? He sounded decent, but based on other things, like the solo tracks on the albums, come on. Come on. You can't go from that and then think
Uh-huh.
this is and I wanna know what made him think this was okay. Like, did he watch the Elvis movie and was like, "Oh, I want something that's, like, cool and sexy and laid back"? Did he watch something? I don't know, because even in some of, like, the performances that he had, he was, like, doing, like, this weird leather jacket, tight jean thing
Yeah.
like Elvis, and
Yeah.
he has long, sideburns. I just listen, I just wanna make it very clear, I'm a hoe stan, one hoe, peck hoe. I'm a hoe for the
Are there
hoes,
any other
right?
hoes?
So it's Hoshi, I love Hoshi. Oh my
Oh,
god, I love that man. I love
oh
Hoshi,
man. I mean, we
but
knew
yeah, it's
he
one of
would
those
lean into
things.
his sexiness though. Like we knew that was going to be his thing, right? And so it just made sense that he would want to do something a little sexier, I think, for his solo debut. It's just yeah, like the
Yeah.
songs on the new East like feels and like yeah, all the
No,
solo
you're
stuff he had done
right.
previously was so much better. So I don't really know what's going on here.
I mean, yes, it's weird. I mean, lyrically speaking, he's like, "I wanna dive into your warmth," and all that good stuff, and I was like, "You nasty." I mean, like I said, the video and the performances and the song, like, I just feel like there was a lot going into it, and then the input was a lot, but the output was just like, "Meh, meh." So I'm
Yeah.
a little disappointed with him. It's a little anemic. But yeah, I feel like this might be a tease for something bigger from him next. So, it's one
I
of those
hope
things where it's
so.
just like, I'm hoping to, because like,
Yeah.
baby, please. But yeah, speaking of the video and him being sexy, him in that shower, it was giving M Black. Remember M Black
Yeah.
when Yoon was on the wall? He's like, M Black. That's what it felt like. So it's like
Actually, I could see
echo.
M Black singing this song.
Oh my god, yes! Give it to my wife. Totally, but I would love to talk about M Black, the R&B group that K-pop needed. We don't have one like that, do we?
No. We
But
should
yeah,
do
I
a
mean,
101 maybe. Stay tuned. Yeah.
yes!
I liked that the music video was more like a movie. Like there's no lip
Oh,
syncing, there's no
yeah!
dance scenes. It's just
The
kind of
running, the
beauty shots of them running and swimming and like I liked him in like on the car and stuff. Like I thought
yeah,
that was
very
all
cat and
very
mouse.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, like cat and mouse James Bond, kind of like, he's
Yes.
sleeping with the watch, she's taking some is yeah,
And
interesting.
yeah, definitely that watch was definitely a sponsor because they showed that so many times. Oh man. Um the choreography for the performances, I
Mm.
liked that there was a chair. I love chair choreography. I wasn't sure if that was a nod to Faith. That's just what it is in my
Oh.
mind. Um, but
In
yeah,
the
there's some nice
fire.
pictures in there. Clearly, he wanted to sing live, so he's not really doing the most there because he's never really
Mhm,
been a
mhm.
dancer,
Yeah,
Um,
no.
but yeah,
But he
it's
could dance.
fine. I think the performances
Yeah,
help. It does help, like the way they did the pictures and everything. He has a ton of background dancers, so it keeps it interesting. But
yeah.
meh.
At this point, listen, I love me some Baekho,
Mhm,
but with love comes truth,
mhm.
and I can truthfully say that this wasn't something that I could see. I don't wanna hear it again unless I was just kinda, like, chilling and working and don't need a distraction.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I will give it. mm, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 6.5 because I expected way more, and we know he can do way better. How about you?
I will say, upon first listen, I liked it, and then One Ho came out, and I liked that too, right? We're not talking about One Ho in this episode, sorry, y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 because I feel like it's just average,
Yeah.
and he gave average boy stuff, but, on to the next thing.
On to the next one. Yes. All right, we're moving on to some girls because we have G-Idol with Nude. Or do you actually say nude,
N
or is it
It's
Nxde?
Nxde. My Alexa said, "Nxde." No, so ask your Alexa to say it.
Alexa,
Or
play G-Idol Nxde. Nude was done by Soyeon, Pop Time, and Kako, and it samples the violin from George Bizet's Carmen Habanera. L'amour est un oiseau rebelle. I've done, okay.
L'amour est
L'amour
un
est un oiseau rebelle.
mm.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was so pretty. It sounds
That
nice
was
on you say
terrible.
it, so
Oh, sorry. Okay. So anyway, what do you think of Nude? It's done super well for G Idol, which is awesome. But what do you think of it?
Oh, interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
Tomboy did really well for them too, and we kind of did a solo Is It Boppin',
Yeah,
and
we
we had a
did.
different opinion, right? I will say this, right? With the teasers, I thought that was interesting. Like, why do you think about nude, think it's so rude, think outside the box and you like it? I thought that'd be the chorus. It was not. The chorus, again, one of those anti-chorus things. Like, when you have a sample and you rely so much on it, no. 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 I'm sorry. After they did well enough with this where I'm like, okay, cool, they rapped over, no problem. This, yes, I'm nude. I'm nude. Like, I don't, like, come on. I was so annoyed. And I was like, ugh. But I will say, verse-wise, excuse me, y'all. You can tell that made me mad. I'm a fan of them. Like, I met them. Like, I really like I-DLE. I really do like them. I like Yuki's part. Like the huh, the huh, I don't know what it was. It was so abrupt,
Uh-huh.
but I like it. I remember it because it just sounds like some girl kicking down the door. Shuhua sounds good because she's not singing in that whisper tone. I don't think her voice fits a lot of the songs that they do because I think she has potential to do more, but she doesn't get a chance to actually use her vocals in a way. She has more parts than she did in Tomboy. Soyeon's rap is fun in the second verse, and the ending is chanty, which I enjoy. That's about it, though. I like the messaging of the song. I think at this point they've accepted their reputations as like the quote unquote bad girls or like having
Yeah.
a quote unquote bad member, and they're leaning more into it. And I love when people do that. Like, don't let people tell your story. You tell it and just run with it. And they're doing it, so I'm here for it.
Yes. I think I liked the idea of the song and the concept of the song more than the actual song itself, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
There are moments that are just kind of annoying.
Which ones?
In the vocal like, yeah, I don't know,
Oh.
in the way they're doing it, because I appreciate the sass and stuff, but it's just so piercing sometimes that it's like, ooh, like, I don't know. It's just not very pleasant to the ear. But I actually
Right.
disagree with you on the sample. I actually do like the way they did the sample. Because I think, yeah, because I think that's such a memorable, like everyone knows that melody, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think to hear it in this context, I think giving it time to shine like that actually works. Um,
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, so I'm actually okay with that. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like I like
Mhm.
parts of it, but I don't like other parts of it. But the fact that I don't like those other parts of it makes me not really like the song in general. Yeah. However, visually
Yeah.
though, they kill
Yeah.
it. Oh man.
Mhm.
The music video
Yeah.
first. What did you think?
It's interesting for sure. They were definitely going for the Moulin Rouge. For you can
Yeah.
tell that. I mean, like actual Moulin Rouge, like can dancers, and not just like the movie, but it does look like a Baz Luhrmann with the high exposure, but the softness of it. It's very interesting. And I like that they all went for like a nudish kind of blondish shade of hair, which is
Yes,
nice.
I
They
love that they're
all
all
look
blonde. Very, very cool.
yeah, it's like with the ice cream concept, the ice cream album with Red Velvet when they all went blonde. It was just cohesive. It was all just one. It just looks really uniform. I like that. Um, they had a lot of blonde iconic moments. Like Marilyn Monroe was definitely the main idea, but there was the pointy bra from Madonna with her Blonde Ambition tour, and this Aphrodite and things like that, or Venus, whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. But things like that were really interesting. I think the little animated can girl, people are saying it's Sujin because of like the beauty mark and like the
Oh,
lips, like the face, the way she looked. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Which I do appreciate because again, erasure in K-pop is real. It's freaking real. Um, yeah, but it's a rumor at this point, but it looks like her. It does. I would love to see her do this concept. And I think overall they were definitely inspired by Banksy as well, especially at the end with the frame eating the picture and it's shaving because that happened during
yes.
an auction of Banksy's painting. I love that. But then at the end of the video it said Marilyn and Banksy. I was like, oh man. I mean, yeah, but it would have been nice to kind of just been like,
Yeah, they don't need to call
I
it out
know
like
our
that.
culture. Yeah. I was like, I know our culture, but yeah, and I guess because So Young gets accused of a lot of plagiarism at this point. Let's cover all the bases and say thank you, I
I
guess.
mean,
I
I
don't know.
totally thought the cartoon was just supposed to be like Jessica Rabbit, but like a bad copy of it so they don't get
Oh.
sued. But I love the idea that you have. um, Yeah. I love Moulin Rouge. Like, the musical also on
Yes.
Broadway, it's awesome. So I just loved that as a visual, and it
Yeah.
matches the music as well, so it's
Oh,
awesome, and all the black and white
yes.
mixed with the bold colors, like, it's just so great, and then at the end, when they all
Mhm.
come out in more, like, modern street
Close.
clothing and
Yes.
quotes, like, they look so good, and it was just such a great
Yeah.
it was just such a great little storyline throughout the whole thing. I really appreciated
Progression.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then performance-wise, oh, they kill it. They are such good performers. And, I've said in the
Mhm.
past, that Shuhua, like, maybe not the best
Immune were like,
performer. Yeah, a
yeah.
little boring, but actually in this one, they're giving it. They're giving it. So I
Yeah.
really props to them. Like, I'm glad that they're actually, like, leaning into it a little bit more. It's not about looking pretty all
Yep.
the time when it comes to
Yes.
performing. So now I feel like maybe
Yeah.
they're starting to really grow into it a bit more. So yeah, very impressed
Yep,
with the
I agree.
performances and stuff. I just wish I liked the song more, but performances and video do make me like it more. So
Mhm.
yeah. So what would you rate it?
Oh. I gave it a 7.5 because I feel like they're still trying to find their new sound without Sujin and still leaning into this whole "we're bad girls" thing, and I've heard them do better.
Hmm.
I've heard them do better.
Yeah.
Um, but but at least there wasn't any kind of, like, crazy, like, "I'm a tomboy," like that, like,
Yeah.
This I think they need to stop relying so much on, like, one words in the choruses and actually have a full chorus again, like, just go for it, like, bring that
Yeah.
stuff. They don't have a main vocal. I don't know what's going on, but they're not doing it. That's why I gave it 7.5. I just need something more for
Yeah.
me,
I'm going to give
you
it an
know?
8. I think watching all the visuals and stuff really propped it up. So yeah.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah. Shit, that video saved their asses.
Hmm.
Alright. Speaking of some ladies doing their thing, we have our supermodel group, La Seraphim, with Antifragile. This song was done by Score and Megatone of 13, Paulina, Seria, Hitman Bang, Shintaro, Yasudo, Supreme Boy, Isabella Love Story, Kyler Nico, Ronnie Icon, and Natalie Boone and Danke. Now that I'm looking at these names, I was like, this is giving Latin pop. Totally. I think when
Hmm.
we first heard it, I was like, I can hear Anita on it or like, what's her name? Becky G or Sophia Reyes.
Yes, you did say that. Yeah,
Anita.
yeah.
Know what I'm saying? I love Latin pop, like, I think it's really fun to kinda have that, like, reggaeton kind of effect, but also have, like, pop girl or even Chanel from, a Slow-Mo from the Eurovision, I can hear her doing something like
Oh
this even. It's just
yeah.
very, like, not generic. It's not generic in K-pop, but it's just generic Latin pop sound. So at first I didn't like it that much. I was like, "Okay, it's not bad." It's not bad because by then Fearless had grown on me, and I thought, "Oh, this is good." But it fits in line, like, sonically with what they're about, like, just being awesome girls, and at this point, I don't even think it's girl crush at this point. It's, like, just trendy girls, and I don't think that's, like, a constant K-pop, but it needs to be. Like, stop trying to have girls crush on you. Stop trying to be, like, tough, and stop trying to be sexy. Just be yourself, and that's what their whole thing is about. Like, no matter what happens, I'm gonna be me, and I love that. The girls the mix on their vocals, so smooth, and the song is, like, percussive, and there's orchestral hits in the chorus and stuff like that, and I'm like, "But the mix is still really smooth. Oh my god, it's so nice." And then I got the belt that I wanted in Fearless, so I'm happy. And that last chorus that
Yep.
I'm about to go through it now, but I was like, "Yes, there's my belt." It just makes things a little bit more like it takes it to another level, even if the chorus is still the same at the end. And I got it, and that sounded smooth too. So at this point, I am actually quite pleased. The chorus took a second to grow on me though, I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but now I'm just sitting there,
Yep.
"T, agile,
Yes.
so
Yeah, I think we heard it together, right? The first time?
Yes, we
And we were
did.
both kinda like,
Yeah.
"Nah." But it has grown on me
Yeah.
so much, and Fearless has also grown on me quite a lot, especially from
Yeah.
watching all the K-pop covers, of it. Um,
Mhm.
this one, yes, I agree. The mix is so good. Their vocals sound so crisp, but the production is still very
Mhm.
dynamic. There's still a lot of depth to it. And while it is a quote unquote generic Latin reggae dance beat, it's actually done
Mhm.
super well. So props to everyone
Yeah.
involved. Um,
Yeah.
I will say vocal production wise though, some of the nasality of it did annoy me at first, like, you
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
I've gotten used to it now, and so I think now it's not as jarring. So I think I'm fine with it now. I guess it's still not my
Uh-huh.
favorite, but I'm not annoyed by it
Right.
anymore. But yeah, this song, I'm super super impressed by it. I
Oh, super,
love
super.
that the message. I love the message, especially given how tumultuous their debut was with the drama.
Oh, right.
And
I
so them
forgot.
then coming out and being like, "We're strong. We're anti-fragile. Like you can't mess with us. Like
Yeah.
we survived it and we're good." You know.
Yeah. This
So
is
I
their
kind of
survivor
love
track.
that. Yeah, totally. So I love that just as a concept. Like that's so smart of them to come back with that. And yeah,
Mhm.
the song is just so so catchy. It's so so catchy,
Yeah.
and the choreo. Oh man, the choreo is so good.
You were
I'm
having a
so
moment over
impressed. I've watched every comeback before. I've watched every performance
Yeah.
they've done. It's so, so good.
The way you're saying it, it reminds me of how you sounded when you watched After, like and I was just like, "Oh, he sounds the way he sounded when he was watching After," like, you watched all the
Yo, the girl
performances, so you
groups, the new goo girl
That's
groups
what
are
I'm
bringing it.
saying.
Yo, what is happening?
That's what I'm saying, like, no offense, but some of y'all need to y'all need to step your cookies up, cause like, even with the boys and stuff like that, I was not listening to boy groups all this year, cause the girls were
Mm-mm.
like, bam, After, like,
Mm.
bam, aespa, bam, Stacy, and then they came out, and then we have new jeans who are 5 years old talking about some, yeah, and I'm like, "Oh my god, what's going on?"
Yes.
Um, but yeah, they looked good, they sound good in the video, like, the whole world is ending goes back to the lyrics. Our world looks like it's crashing in on us. I'm still gonna be doing
Yeah,
yoga,
we're
sis.
good. Mm.
See me in, Lotus right now? You see me in, in the mall doing my makeup, like, I was like, "But the world's ending." But we're not.
Yep.
Done. Period. I was like,
Love it.
"Go off."
Love it. I will say,
Like,
just
oh,
slight criticism, their makeup is so heavy and they're such young girls that it's almost
yeah.
distracting how much makeup they're wearing. So it's just like
Like,
a
the
lot.
eyes are, like, piled
Yeah,
on.
it's crazy. Like that can't be
Yeah.
comfortable or good for their skin. But anyway, um, the choreo, like I said, while it is
Yeah.
amazing, the one part that
Mhm.
does annoy me about it, or the only thing that annoys me about it, is that it's
This?
literally impossible to sing live, even if they wanted to with that. Like
Oh
the
my
way
god,
they're
yes.
hitting everything, it's absolutely crazy. It's
Yeah, yeah.
crazy. But my favorite moment, actually, there's this double elbow hit. Boom, boom. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
why
yeah.
I
I don't
love
know
that
about it,
so
it's so
much,
weird.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
weird
cool.
the way
It's so
yeah,
cool.
it's so cool. And the leg extension, that's fun. Like, they have a lot of fun moments in this. I've seen a lot of people covering certain parts of it just so they can do, like, the leg extension or your elbow thing or, like it's
Yeah, yeah.
interesting for sure. You know,
Mhm.
kudos to all the cover groups out there that especially the ones that we saw at, the I Love Dance, A-Land competition at American Dream. Dances like this are tough, and when you choose to do it, it's like,
Yep.
ooh, it's a task, it's a task. But yeah, so you can go on and on, it seems like, and we
Mm.
probably will. But, what would you give this? What would you rate this song? Everything, I guess.
It's okay, it's tough because when we do these ratings, right, we're thinking about it in the context of the artist and their discography, and so they're still
Mhm,
so
mhm.
new
Yeah.
that I don't really know what that actual spectrum is, but this is so good, right? So I will give it a 9 in the hopes that this is not their best, right? Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. You know, I can't remember what I gave, Fearless. I think I would bump it up. I think I said I would bump it up, like, before we started filming. But, yeah, I think for this one, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because for me, it does sound like a generic Latin pop song, but it's not really commonly done in K-pop, except maybe
Mhm.
with Tri-B, and it wasn't bad, and they sound good. But, again, we'll see what happens. It's not perfect
Yeah.
yet, but I wanna hear what their sound's gonna be for sure.
Yes, exactly. Alright, so our final song to review
Mhm.
for October 2022 in K-pop, we have Generation by tripleS, AAA, or Acid Angel from Asia.
I was
Oh,
like, "What
man.
the hell?"
So, this song was done by El Capitan, right? El Capitan?
Capitan?
Nano, Maria Marcus, Louise Frickzine, Jaden Jong, and Kim Sung-woo. And Triple S is actually an upcoming 24-member
Oh,
girl group that is set to debut in 2023. And this unit, Acid Angel from Asia, is the first subunit with 4 members. And I believe their fans actually got to choose which 4 or something. I need to read more into
which is
this.
impressive.
But
Yeah.
anyway, they came out of nowhere. right? Like suddenly everyone was talking about triple S, and
yeah.
I was like, "Who is triple S? Like, what's
I got an
happening?"
ad for them. I got an
Oh, did
ad. I
you?
got an ad for it.
Oh,
Yeah, I was on my TV watching YouTube, I think on my personal, like, my music channel, and I thought, "Oh, who's that?" Because for some again, the black hair, the neutral makeup palette, I was like, "Is this another Adore?" No. It's just, parallel development. You have another group who's
yeah.
kinda going for that natural laid back look, but still stylish. It's interesting for sure to see what's gonna happen with this, and also I see some Swedish names in here, which would explain a lot
Yes.
considering the production of this song. The Swedes, y'all, don't sleep on them.
Mm-mm.
Max Martin, and
And
I
yeah.
can't think a bunch of K-pop producers too. Not even trying to be funny, but like a bunch of K-pop producers are very much Swedish.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
They're awesome.
all of, like, early 2000s pop
Pop.
globally comes from Swedes, so it makes sense, right, that they would then move to K-pop,
Yeah.
right? Because Western
I
music
don't blame
sucks now. Um, yeah. So anyway,
them.
this song is awesome. I remember I just saw everyone talking about it, like, on socials and being like, "Oh my gosh, this song
Mm,
is so good." I was like, "What is
yeah.
happening?" But yeah, it's great. And it's cool. I think maybe
Mm,
because it comes from the work of Swedes, that there is something very
mhm.
nostalgic about it. Um, but the production still sounds modern, so they balance that out really well. I like the
Yes.
horn moments in there. And yeah,
Mhm.
I love a
Mhm.
la 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 hook,
Yes,
and
come on, Kylie.
theirs is great. Yes, and speaking of
Yeah.
Kylie, someone
Yeah.
made this awesome mashup of "Can't Get You Out of My Head" with this song. We retweeted it on our Twitter, but definitely go check it out because it's crazy. Amazing.
Oh, so good. Yes. Again, who knows what the industry looks like in K-pop, right? You'll have songs, you'll have movies even that get developed at the same time because studios are competing with each other, right? But
Mm,
how do you get this song, a month or however long after we get New Jeans, right? Because we all know that a lot of K-pop songs in the oven for like months before they get released, right? So this is one of those things where I'm like, how in the world again, they know what's going on with their trends, and they're trying to get ahead of it while a lot of other groups are still trying to be loud and like Lapilis.
mhm.
"Hitcha! Hitcha! Like, why are y'all yelling? They decided to sit there and actually just have singers in their group. Like, I'm sure they probably have rappers or like a rapper somewhere in the dregs somewhere.
I mean, in 24
Dregs, my
members,
bad.
I hope there's some difference.
Right. Right. I will say tonally, I couldn't tell the people apart, the girls apart just
Yes,
yet.
true.
That's the only thing. This song is definitely high teen for sure. It's not girl crush. I'm not gonna sit there and go say girl crush again. It's trendy girl.
Yeah.
I'm calling it trendy girl. Dang it. Um, Not a concept needs to be. The lyrics are about love and friendship and how life is like strange as a kid, but it's bearable because of like the sweetness of a relationship. And I'm like, oh my God, where are the songs like that here in America? Or just in general, because everyone's talking about how hot they are, how blah blah, and they're just like, "We're kids. It's tough out here." La 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 la, and it's like the song is very TikTok worthy. They even said they go la 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 TikTok or something, or I'm like, what the heck? But things like that and the song being called Generation, like it fits in so many different generations. It sounds like second gen, but it sounds like our generation of pop music.
Mhm.
But it sounds like the 70s a little bit, but then it's a lot going on, but not in a bad way. There's like some funk hits
Yeah.
for the drums. Like, there's a lot of awesome generational things going on. And even in the video, you can tell that they're kids. They're
Yes.
being kids. They're at school. And I felt so nostalgic because I went to private school. We would run out and like film ourselves on our like not camcorders, but on our really crappy like Claire's or Justice digital cameras and watch it back. And they did that with their cell phones, but now they have live streaming and then them wearing the Y2K styles, but not colorful in the neutral color palette and them getting swarmed by those guys in the suits and the business people
Yeah.
wrong generation surrounded by other generation, they're still dancing in the middle. That's symbolic for we're still gonna try to be youthful in this crazy world. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like this is
Mhm.
Gen Z, how I think in my mind what Gen Z is. Not like the whole period. Like
Well,
I
I
don't
think,
get that.
I think that's unfortunately the part of Gen Z that is kind of all over TikTok and stuff at the moment, right? But then this is
Yeah.
feels like the more just authentic version of it. They're not trying too
Yeah.
hard. And I
Yeah.
love that. Like it actually feels like this could just be a group of friends and what they're up
Mhm.
to after school. So yeah, I really, really appreciated that because I've said in the past, like with Stacey and stuff, like those school scenes just
Yeah.
always feel just like overly cute and just fake. It doesn't feel authentic at
Yes.
all. And this one felt super authentic. So I never heard of this company. I have no idea what expectations to have for this 24-member group, but this is such an
Right.
amazing start. Um,
Yeah.
and the
Expectations
choreography,
here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The choreography is
Mm.
so good also.
Mhm. Mhm.
Again, nothing overly cute, nothing overly sexy. They're very young.
Mm-mm.
It's just
Yeah.
fun. It's just fun.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cute. They're cute because they're naturally cute. There's no crazy hair
Right, right, right.
color, there's no skirts,
Yeah, but
there's no
they're not doing like,
bling bling,
cutesy little
you
things.
know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like, it's just they just happen to be cute, and they happen to be really decent singers, like, there's a belter in this 4 little member thing, because in the video, you can't really see it, and then, the tragedy that recently happened in Korea, they haven't performed a lot,
Yeah.
but it's interesting to watch them even when they're on the stage with the black wings in the back. It was really scary a little bit. I was like, "What the heck is that?" Because they were inside the elevator, but it became like a platform that they danced on, and it was like some dark it was weird. But I heard the bell, and I said, "Oh, they got a singer." But this is what happens when you prioritize vocals and top lines over sounding like rappers and having rappers constantly in your group.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
mhm.
I'm not saying it's bad to have rappers, but when that's your prime focus, as it's been for like what, a year now in K-pop, especially with girl groups, starts to lose its novelty.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, like I said, they really came out of nowhere for me, but, I'm loving it,
Boy.
and I need to
Yeah.
properly stream, like, their project as well. I'm very
It's
curious.
so
You need to
good.
look up, like, when the next subunit's coming, like, what the plan is for this
Yeah.
launch. It's very interesting. And
Yeah.
stay tuned. We may do a video about it, an episode about it. Alright.
Yeah.
So for this one, I will give it a 9. How about you?
I agree. I will give it a 9 as well. It's a good. It's a good debut for sure.
Cool. All right. Well, that wraps up our recap for October 2022 in K-pop. Let us know what you all think about these songs in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube, or you can hit us up on socials at CCTV Pop on all social media. You can also join us on Patreon. We would love to hear all your thoughts. Please give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. And for our listeners, please give us a rating and review on your podcast platform of choice. Until next time, that's Jan.
That's Chris.
And we are CCTV.
Bye. Na, 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 na.